There's a moment in life where you stop asking, why are they like this? And you start asking, why am I still letting them get to me? You've probably felt it before. That sinking feeling in your chest after dealing with someone who twists every word, who plays mind games without blinking, who knows exactly how to push your buttons until you react.
You used me so you could get out of LA.
I didn't use you.
You did, and then you blamed me for it.
Maybe you argued, maybe you explained, maybe you tried to defend yourself, maybe you lost sleep replaying everything they said, trying to understand what went wrong. But here's the truth. It wasn't you losing control. It was them feeding off your emotions. Narcissists don't respond to logic. They respond to reactions. Your frustration, your anger, your confusion, that's their fuel. And when you finally get tired, when you finally hit that point where your peace becomes more important than their chaos, something inside you shifts because you suddenly realize you can't fix a narcissist, but you can become someone they never want to mess with again. Not by shouting, not by matching their energy, but by changing the only thing they can't fight, your emotional control. Today, you're going to learn 5 powerful ways to make a narcissist lose all interest in manipulating you, to the point where messing with you becomes impossible, boring, and a complete waste of their time. Let's begin. Way 1. Become indifferent. You've probably heard of gray rocking, acting boring, flat, emotionless, so the narcissist loses interest. And it works for a while. But here's the upgrade that actually ends the game. Don't just be quiet, be indifferent. Gray rocking is external, indifference is internal. A narcissist can feel when you're still emotionally hooked, when you're hurt, when you're waiting for closure, when you want them to understand, when you want them to change. They can sense the tension under your silence. Indifference is different. Indifference means you're not angry. You're not waiting. You're not hoping for an apology. You're not emotionally invested in the outcome. You've simply outgrown the dynamic. You stop trying to make them see your worth and start seeing it yourself. To a narcissist, that's the ultimate shutdown. They can't play with someone who feels nothing for their games. They can't manipulate someone who is no longer moved. Indifference isn't a strategy. It's a transformation. You go from being the flame they ignite to the stone their spark can't touch. And narcissists don't waste energy on fires they cannot start. Way 2. Set a one-strike rule. Narcissists don't usually start with big violations. They start small. A small insult, a subtle lie, a small shift in tone, a tiny act of disrespect.
You're awful, Murray.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Why? Because they're running a test. They're asking, what can I get away with? Will you tolerate it? Will you give me another chance? Can I push a little more? If you let the first strike slide, they will test the next line, and the next, and the next. You don't need 3 strikes. You don't need 10 warnings. You need 1. The first time they lie, manipulate, or disrespect you, you act immediately. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just decisively. This might look like pulling back your availability, changing how you respond, setting new boundaries, or even walking away. You're not teaching them a lesson. You're protecting your standards. The one-strike rule sends a message. I don't negotiate with disrespect. Narcissists hate this type of person because they can't chip away at your boundaries. They can't work their way into your emotions. They can't slowly erode your self-esteem. To a narcissist, someone with a one-strike rule is unplayable, and if they can't play you, they let go. Way 3. Use the reverse interrogation method. Narcissists thrive when they're talking, you're defending, they're accusing, and you're explaining yourself. This dynamic feeds their ego and gives them control. But when you reverse the dynamic, they fall apart. Instead of explaining yourself, you start asking calm, direct questions. What did you mean by that? Why did you say that? Why does that make sense to you? Is this how you normally treat people? Why are you raising your voice? Narcissists hate being questioned. It exposes their inconsistency. It shines a light on their behavior. It forces them into a position they can't control. You're not reacting, you're observing. You're not arguing, you're examining. And the more calm your questions are, the more unstable they become. This method works because narcissists don't expect you to think. They expect you to feel, to react emotionally so they can twist things in their favor. But when you stay logical, still, and calm, they can't steer the conversation. They can't plant guilt. They can't create emotional fog. The reverse interrogation method flips the script. You don't get to analyze me. I'm analyzing you, and that alone makes them uncomfortable enough to back off. Way 4. Starve the drama. Narcissists are powered by emotional chaos, arguments, tears, tension, long explanations. This is oxygen to them. They don't care if you're happy or angry as long as they evoke something. So the moment you stop reacting, their power evaporates. Starving the drama means no long emotional responses, no trying to explain your feelings, no reacting to every accusation, no defending yourself against obvious twisting, no feeding their emotional bait. You respond with calmness, clarity, and boundaries. Nothing more. You don't match their intensity. You don't play in their emotional arena. You let the fire burn itself out. A narcissist can't survive in an environment without emotional oxygen. They get bored. They get frustrated. They lose control of the game. And once the drama dries up, they move on because chaos is their favorite meal and you no longer serve it. Way 5. Build a life they can't touch. The most powerful one, the one that makes you untouchable. A narcissist's influence over you isn't just about what they do, it's about how you feel about yourself when you're around them. If you don't have confidence, they can poke you. If you don't have boundaries, they can break you. If you don't have self-respect, they can manipulate you. If your world revolves around them, they can control your world. So the most effective way to make a narcissist stop messing with you is simple. Build a life, a purpose, and a sense of identity that they have zero access to. You start pouring energy into your goals, your peace, your health, your growth. You make your life so full, so rich, so grounded that their influence becomes microscopic. You don't need them. You don't chase their validation. You don't respond to their chaos. You're anchored in something deeper. Your life becomes your boundary. And narcissists do not mess with people who have a strong inner world. They only target people whose self-worth depends on external approval. Once your identity no longer bends for them, they lose interest. They lose control. They lose access. And in the narcissist's world, a person they can't control is a person they walk away from. Listen closely. You don't beat a narcissist by outsmarting them. You beat them by becoming someone they can't emotionally touch anymore. You become calm. You become centered. You become the person who doesn't react, doesn't chase, doesn't break. And the moment you step into that version of yourself, narcissists stop seeing you as prey. They start seeing you as a wall. And boundaries are brick walls to them, not invitations. Focus on this. There are exact words to say so a narcissist never disrespects you again. You'll find those words or phrases in this next video. Watch it here.